Okay, we are a bit early, but I thought like might as well start it. I was ready, so we have 2 more minutes, and then there's actually going to be time for yet another final fight. My second final fight ever, I think. So yes, it will be interesting. It's again against God of Pain. Dude is strong, no questions asked. 8-tier starring Jara team can screw me over big time. So yeah, he killed Zorb. Look at that. That is a team he slaughtered. And he had SS, SFX and everything as well, so to say that I'm not worried would be wrong. So definitely interesting. Yeah. We have 1.5 more minutes. I guess nothing to check out. For now, we're going to start off the stream slow. I hope you guys can hear me even. that is always the question. It was more of a spontaneous decision to do the stream now. Wasn't really planning on it now, to be honest. I was more like, okay, might as well. Can't happen to notice that the the Discord preview of the stream still shows the thumbnail from the old stream, from the live summons on Amazon we did on Thursday, I think it was. So yeah, 46 seconds. I have to keep myself a bit in check. I tend to rage when I lose an IDA. To be honest. How was the fight against Obi-Wan Blub? Yeah, well, old guildmate of mine. And yeah, he scared me. We will watch the fight later, no matter the result. But it was like... Is it the wrong fight? Oh, that's the wrong one. This one. Like this fight against his main. His first attack instantly CC'd my SFX, and I thought like, no, that's insane. Okay, I obviously knew that I won at this point, but like, okay guys, we have to change group. As soon as I change group and change back to that, we will know if I won. Bloody hell. Come on. Please don't do this to me live on stream. Come on. Oh! Actually lost. Live on stream. We will look at it. Interesting. Yeah, against the CC team, you never know what's going to happen. He won against Sorb. Let's look at the fight. I mean, that's nothing to see. That's not too interesting. Yeah, that's just the fight. Live on stream. Twice as devastating as usual. But it is what it is. Okay, we didn't get the kill on the Rogue, that's obviously bad. In general, didn't get a lot of kills. We did get 2 kills here. Didn't get any CC yet. That's interesting. Okay. Oh, he got the CC there. Kind of unlucky. Let's watch it again. I have to watch that again a little bit more slowly. He got good CC, definitely, yeah. We got bad damage, but I don't think it was like very, very bad. Was not like I say that it was bugged or something. It was just a good win from his side. Let's watch it a bit slower. Okay, we got 2 chases, and the last one. Okay, that was a bit unlucky. One more chase would have taken down the STE and the Rogue. But that's IDA. That's IDA, guys. That's just normal. Of course, we are CC'd on the Aspen. Yeah, the Aspen just dies. Yeah, and as soon basically as the Mystic Fairy Freya active is up, it really doesn't do anything anymore if an Aspen or something attacks. And then we get CC'd, and of course everybody has no shield or anything anymore. Yeah. No crits there. I guess she's lowest life, isn't she? Guess the SDE is lowest life. Can't get crit. I mean, there isn't too much fancy stuff happening. Isn't too much to analyze. Yeah. I still want to watch the fight again. And then we will look at the other fights, obviously. Have to get over this one first, though. It is what it is, guys. There will be another time. Obviously, we get 1 kill on the Rogan. It's so unlucky that we just didn't get any more chases with the Mockman. So unlucky. I mean, even the Aspen not being CC'd could have changed so much, and he got 2 hits there from the Ferric Investor. Just got 2 hits, so he dies. Never got anything from the Mystic Fairy Freya as well. This is huge, by the way. This is huge. This is huge. That we didn't get any active from the Mystic Fairy Freya, because that really makes the difference in control immunity, in damage reduction. That would have changed a lot in that case. We just get hit by a lot. Those are, if I see that correctly, he should have the sublimations for the Starving Jar, so we get damage over time effects here. And yeah, with the lowest life on that one. So it's a well-made team. It's a well-made team. No questions asked. And I think a lot of unfortunate things came together to make that loss possible. But I would not doubt that he has a decent win chance against me in any other fight as well. So, unlucky, yeah. A bit. I would say so. There were some things that could have changed stuff, but in the end, guys, it's IDA. It's IDA. In general, you get the worst fights or the worst outcomes for your fights. So, another easy win for the old Croc. Oh, did you win again, Mont? Well, we'll look at it. We will look at it. We looked at this fight. God of Pain won. Good win. Got a good fight against Sorb. He did that. So, fair and square win. I want to congratulate him in any way. Nice fight, nice team. I like his team, to be honest. Starving Jar CC team. Little bit of STE. It's good. Well-made team. So, Group 2. Ragnarok here with the win. Ragnarok got a pretty interesting win right before against Lord Eric. I guess we can look at that as well. Yeah, hi guys. Wait, what? You already missed it. You already missed me losing Group 1 to God of Pain. And getting another place 2 frame. So, yeah, that's something. Let's look into this. We got a fight between P and Ragnarok and Lord Eric, so that is quite interesting. Lord Eric, of course, a well-known player with definitely a lot of A tiers. He got like basically every single meta hero A tier, I think. Or is there something missing? Well, we have the, I wanted to say SQH, but obviously we have the S tier SQH. Don, nice that you're here as well. Yeah, just looking through the fights, and we are going to watch a fair bit of those fights. Yeah, next one, Scaloi, I guess. Ragnarok, what did he said? With the S tier Aspen here. I saw him buy that. That's a pretty cool Aspen. That's really, this Aspen has really nice stats. I really like this one. Wondering what even his main team is. It's kind of confusing his homeowners in both of those. And I reckon he is, well, I guess it's the last one, right? Yeah, it should be the last one. Even though this team is scary as well. I mean, like, he has the SFX in there. He has the S tier Aspen. But in the end, it's like, you can have SFX, but if she doesn't fit in your team, then, yeah, you won't run her. You won't run her, you run something else, and that's alright as well, I guess. So, I guess the last one is really his main, or is it? It should be. Like, he replaced one carry with the Ezreal, used the Ezreal in the same way as you would usually use the carry, and of course he makes use of all the added benefits that an Ezreal has, like the reduced healing effect and everything, and then he basically built SAH team, the German slipping through again, with an EOS. An A plus EOS, pretty nice. So that's rather interesting. Lord Eric, what did he have? Not really sure. To be honest, that is yeah, that is weird. Yeah, I mean, like the first team Feels more like stuff thrown in there. Doesn't really seem like a real team, to be honest. And it doesn't fit together. Like, the only time where you ever use Rogans and Panda together is in like Forest SL. And then it makes sense to kind of have the offensive and the defensive side. But like in PvP, I don't really see it. I mean, like, if you cut out the Panda, that is just usually a usual offensive team with like 2 Rogans and a Drake. This stuff that people used to play ages ago. And then you have like the Pandas just not fitting the team. The second team, of course, is interesting. It's a little bit different than from what you usually see. If you were to see the right half of the team, you would think that it is an SAH core team, actually. And then you kind of see the left side, and there is no SAH. It's kind of one team below. So, I mean, the S model certainly does profit from heroes that can die and revive. So that is not wrong. It doesn't look like he had a big focus on the Ezreal. The Ezreal kind of at E5. So, not really any sublimations on that, despite the Ezreal being set in a home. In general, by the way, that's something I don't like. I don't like that. People tend to just fill up all of their homes. That makes no sense at all. The only time where it ever makes sense to split this stuff up is if you're like free to play and you don't have master toolboxes. And you just can upgrade your houses to like level 30 or something. And then you can split it up a bit. But in that situation, even that won't make too much sense because you just can't afford the tenants. So that is just a bit weird. I don't really see the winning condition of this team other than to overpower the enemy. Just to be way more powerful than the enemy. I don't know what. Well, I guess we will see it in a fight. We will see it in a fight. Hard to say now. A+ Eloise. I like that. I like that. But I feel like he could have easily made this team great. Just swap those 2 heroes, activate an SAH core, and you just have a wonderful SAH team like the one Ragnarok built. Maybe the S model is good and I don't do him justice here, but it's T1. It's T1. Is it supposed to be the main copy? Then you have the T1 S model and you have the T5 EOS, which has no home. So that is really weird. Eric needs to find other player for his account. It's such a waste letting Zetsu running it. I'm not really that informed about who's running and who's doing what on Eric's account. If he didn't do that himself, I mean, we will see the performance, and I think I'm absolutely for creative teams. And if it performs well, we will see. We will see. But he's the second Eloise as well. That's interesting. But he lost to Ragnarok, and I think Ragnarok had a lot of copies that were a bit worse. His first team nearly entirely dying here to a bunch of B+ copies. Okay, let's look at that. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's not like those secondary teams matter that much anymore. Rarely is there anything that really changes a lot. Okay, interesting that he lost that. We can go to double speed, I think. The Drake, I think the Drake didn't have unbending wool. The SFX got impeccable from that. That's not too great. That's not too great. And of course no crits. SFX is horrified, so she can't crit. And oh, you wrecked Sharon, so that's insane. That's really nice that you got the win against Sharon. Super strong. I saw his account. It's like insane. We will see it later. It's like really insane. Yeah, and I lost too. Honestly, I had high hopes for a win, but the way God of Pain won, definitely, absolutely legit good win. Yeah, a lot of his team got destroyed. I mean, he didn't lose, obviously. He has a T5 SFX in there, but it got close. Interesting. Where's the main fight? That's not the main fight. And I think that is indeed the main fight. He lost his Ezreal already here. Let's watch this one as well. Let's watch both fights. It's not the championship fight, but it's either way, I think it's a rather interesting fight. And always comment your opinion on those fights, guys. It's always interesting to hear what you guys think about it. And next time I think I will get another person for the stream. Get somebody else in here and do together with someone. This time was more of a spontaneous decision to do the stream, and we will do it just by ourselves here. SFX gaining the impeccable there. A lot of CC, a lot of screen clutter in a way. The Azrael killing himself here, which is a risk. In a match like a version of like IDA, is always the risk there that an Azrael kills himself, because that's kind of what he does. And that doesn't really matter too much if you are like in a 1 versus 1 situation, like FTA, something like this. There it doesn't matter if your Azrael dies. But if at the end of a fight like this he's dead, then he's dead. And then he's gone. So, yeah. And then of course he went into the next fight without the Azrael. Can happen with carries as well. I mean, carries and Azraels are like heroes. You want them to die to let teams like the home score team work. But then again, having heroes that survive can be better in some game modes. So, one thing that we of course have to take into consideration, he went into the fight against Ragnarok's main team with 1 hero less. So, that always will have an effect on the fight. That is definitely the case. So, let's have a look here. Starting off, Wraec Investor here. Pretty weak carry in the back row, we can see that already. As of course the reason that that Ragnarok wants to trigger the perceptual disorder from the Star Alchemist home score. On round 2, usually Star Alchemist home score tend to get very tanky and tend to get a lot of attack. And those AoE hitters like the S model don't really make it any better. You can see there are 7 stacks on here. And the thing with Holmes Young often is, or with Star Alchemist Holmes, he hits your team, he hits the enemy team, and then you have this damage over time effect that lasts for like 6 rounds. And he stacks that up, and suddenly the rounds begin with like your heroes taking a ton of damage. And that is what we can see here right now. Even though there are some crowns on those heroes, like the S model is running a crown, and he does damage. I mean, like the carries are draining. It's still looking like that. There's still damage over time effects here. The Wraec Investor gets shut down. Now the Mystic Fairy Freya is shut down as well. And the entire team here is still standing. Despite taking a lot of damage sometimes in between, is still standing. The Azrael, of course, gets lost in the same manner. Lord Eric lost his. I mean, it didn't do too badly, but like, we had the winning condition here, and I don't feel like we have one here. We have power, but not really any good matter to win. So it's just like, yeah, the rest of Ragnarok's team just slaughters to the end. Good win by Ragnarok, definitely. Absolutely solid Star Alchemist Homes team. Maybe could get some more stats on the EOS. Maybe if he has a 4th home, that will be something that he can do. Getting some more stats on her would help a lot. But beyond that, that's insane. So, didn't set up Jove this time. Unfortunately, it had fully homed, fully sub Jara sitting in a nothing team. Could have been so much better. Yeah, I mean, you could have built the team around the Jara. Jara is a good hero. You can see, you can group to group 1 and watch my fight and see me lose against Jara. So, kind of obvious that it is a good hero. And I thought about it. And now I have to watch that every time I end the fight, right? Oh god, that's horrible. God, that's horrible. No, not group 3. We go to group 2. Main fight, Ragnarok against Art. We saw Ragnarok's team, no need to talk about that anymore. Daddy! I know that guy. I think he won last time, right? That's cool. 395 million. We got a Holmes with a core here, but not in the main team. So we have a secondary team here. Nice secondary. I like this. I like this, to be honest. I like this. Is Snake the new meta PvP monster? No, it's more like a few people use that just because Holmes and Mystic Fairy Freya both poison the enemy. So you can make use of the synergy if you want. That is an option. I like that as a secondary team. That's pretty cool. He has like 3 heroes that can die. He has like the Holmes core for some perceptual disorder action. The S model profiting from that, and on top of that he uses the Andrea for some heal. And none of those have homeowners. It's just a good secondary team. And I would love to see that perform. I think that is a fight we are going to look at. It's pretty interesting. And then as a main, he's running basically the same team that God of Pain ran. That's interesting. I think that's about the same, right? We have the Ferric Investor, we have a Starwing Jara, Aspen. Good CC team here. It's interesting. CC teams kind of seem to reign on PvP actually at the moment. Pretty strong in IDA. We saw, even in last season when I commented on it, and I did a similar video to that one, to this live stream that we just did, just without a live stream. And we could see like, at the point where I said that arguably Daiko and Storm's team were the strongest in the meta, we could see that there was like, I think it was like 3 winners with Daiko and Storm's core teams. And we had Jesus and Arto, I think. And then the rest were CC teams with Starwing Jara. So that was quite interesting. And a lot of people say Starwing Jara is no longer meta. I beg to differ. Definitely not the case. So let's have a look here. Ragnarok starting off with his team. I saw Sorbitol building something pretty similar. It's quite interesting that they both built this team. And front row Mockman here with 3 pandas. That's wild. That's wild. Let's watch this fight. It's kind of interesting. I like it. I like this team. It's an interesting team. Hey Shmuel, Rio, and Ladeth. Nice that you guys are here. We're just looking at the fights, having a bit of, well, fun. Seeing me lose in IDA. Crushing all my hopes. I think that was the roughest start we ever had to stream. First few minutes or me getting over my loss in IDA. I had high hopes to start that stream on an up note, but like, it didn't happen. He has even has crowns on that. That's pretty cool. I mean, like, we're running a CC team now here against the Panda team, and of course 4 Cs as like debuff or buff remover. That's interesting. But often teams like this suffer against heroes like Mockman. Mockman with a lot of hits, with the counterattacks and everything, hitting through the armor shields. Yeah, left side team is just a lot stronger. Even though the right side team is definitely cool. It's definitely cool. Though I feel like 4 Cs might need a few stats from Holmes to actually perform well nowadays. Did you win IDA? No, I did not. Sadly, I didn't. Mr. Jesus! Joining into the stream. Yeah, I sure hope so. I sure hope so. One day. But like, kind of feels like, yeah, Obi-Wan Blub, Mr. Obi-Wan. That is a fight we will look at now. Me against Obi-Wan Blub. Asking, will he in this stream chat? Will he ever win this? Doubting that I will ever do it. We will watch the fight against Obi. Because that one was actually filthy. And if I didn't know that I won that, I would actually have been scared. We will watch the main fight here, and then we will go back and then we watch Obi versus me. Because the Starwing Jara did some very filthy stuff. So let's skip the rest here, it's not that interesting. Okay, back to the topic, main fight. Is that the main team? No, that's not the main team. It's so hard to see with those Uber whales. Like, they have main teams that look like, or secondary teams that look like main team. Who would think that is a secondary team? Nobody would. Let's watch the fight. There are like 3 interesting fights in that. I like that fight. Art versus Ragnarok. Have to say, Art built the more interesting teams. Have to say it. It is that way. Art built cooler teams. got a little bit slaughtered, but like, if he had a little bit bigger stats, I think he could have beaten Ragnarok. Ragnarok just is big. He is big. So, Azrael doing a lot of work here. It's hard to see what Azrael actually does, because he tends to just die at the beginning of a round and you think like, hey, what happened here? But he does stuff. He certainly does. Interesting. And now the SFX here. She can't solo carry. She's just bound to die at one point. Yeah. Let's watch the fight to the end, but there's just no chance. I beat Soul, yeah? I beat Soul. I beat Soul's KDL account. So that was something I didn't expect, to be honest. That was something I didn't expect. Wraec Jesus Caller for commentary on next Saturday. Honestly, I thought about that. Last time I did this video. And then I noticed that I forgot to ask. So, yeah, that was that. So, maybe next time we will see. So, main fight. Mr. Rick. Yeah, that's the YouTube subs. But on Barry, I think they do burger gaming in these subs. So I think Rick is rather fine. This is still the good treatment by YouTube, I think. So, Art versus Ragnarok here. Basically, once again, a Jara CC team versus Holmes Young. With the proper hits, there's definitely a chance for a Starwing Jara team to beat the Holmes team. Going for the Holmes team, it's like the Holmes team is more tanky. That is the point. It is more tanky, but the tankiness of the Holmes team is on a timer. It's basically only there as long as you have core charges. As soon as the core charges run out in like turn 5, turn 6, depending on what core you have and if the enemy kills the carries fast or not. That is like the thing. So if the CC team can outlast to a certain point and not die by the damage over time effect, which would be about now, then it might actually have a chance. So right now you can start doing damage, the crown has run out, the core has run out, so basically now is the time where you can actually slaughter the team. The problem is there isn't much left of Mr. Art's team. So that was the problem. He got pretty close, honestly, even though it doesn't look like it if you see the heroes in the background. It doesn't look like it. It was pretty close. That was not an easy fight. That could have easily gone in the other way. Burger Gaming. Yeah, definitely Burger Gaming. Mr. Jesus is here saying maybe. So there is a chance, guys. There is a chance of that collab actually happening. So that will be pretty interesting. Otherwise I have to ask Barry. I'm not sure, it's not really stuff he does. And I have to see it again. But I promised you guys we are going to watch Obi versus me. That's Gene versus Obi. Obi versus me. Because I have to show you the filthiness of his Starwing Jara. He ran Starwing Jara core team, and you just have to see the first attack. It's not about the rest, it's just this first attack that is really filthy. Look at that. Look at what happens here. Can make it slower. Slow, and on the first hit, he attacks first and instantly CCs my SFX. Like, if you didn't know that I won this fight, that could have been a game changer. That could have slaughtered my team. Was just missing that he gets like another hit and CCs my Mockman. And that is the point. That is the point. Have to have at least someone who knows what's happening. This is Mont for you guys. Those are the guildmates. That's the stuff you have to prepare for if you ever join Omega Project. You have Jesus doing nice stuff, and then there's like Mont. And he's being mean to me. Following me to IDA to beat me. Yeah, the rest is my Mockman killing your team. That is that is indeed right. Obi-Wan Blob, by the way, old clanmate of mine. We were together in Paragon. At the time where I was still in Paragon, that was basically the guild I was before I joined Omega Project. Those were fun times. Those were fun times. Great guild. Always fun to remember those times. Now it's Utopia. And I heard good stuff. Seems to be pretty good guild. Bring the whole OP. I can't bring Mon to a stream. They would ban me off YouTube probably. We will see. A good fight from Obi. Good fight from Obi. Had me scared there for a second. And group 2, to find some final words for that. Ragnarok 1. I think Art definitely did a very proper fight. Built very nice teams. And I like that. Have to give him props for that. So, pretty nice. So, in any way, I think it could have gone both ways. Both did a decent job, and we have a nice winner. So, Ragnarok, congratulations on yet another IDA champion frame. I think he has like 1,000 of those now. But that's Ragnarok for you guys. So, group number 3. What I mean, you have to invite someone who knows what's happening since you mentioned Barry. I'm also here, man. I'm also here. I can also know some stuff. Nah, Barry's nice. Barry's nice. It's a nice lad. It's definitely a nice lad. So, not going to have any negative words come on him. He's definitely a good dude. So, Omega Project. Both people. Icarus and Gore. So, guild intern fights here. We had 2 of those. Mr. You Bite Her. I was told to pronounce the name that way. If I were to butcher it, I should butcher it in that way. It was the last time I was said that name. Fighting against Gore. Was it a close win? 8-0. And again, we have a Starwing Jara CC team. Slaughtering another Starwing Jara CC team. That is the new meta. Yeah, Jara ripping everybody, honestly. So that is kind of interesting. The only part of it, of course, that is a little bit annoying is if you run a Starwing Jara, it's kind of hard. I mean, you can do PvE, certainly, but, like, don't really have damage if you want to take her to a Star Expedition or something. So that's... You have to stop thinking I'm calling you clueless here. No, Mont, it's alright. It's alright. I know you mean everything that you say. In a positive way? Is that how I could say it? I like you, dude. That's alright. That's alright. You're a proper guildmate. And if you indeed decide to quit, I will be sad. I will be sad. I have to say that. I like the little bit of banter that is between us, and that is always a nice thing. So, OP Gore versus Icarus. We can see it here. Gore basically going ahead with the Starwing Jara team here. B- Starwing Jara. Has a fair bit of B+ heroes. Interesting that he decided to take the B- Starwing Jara as his main carry hero here with the core and everything. Then again, something that people often mistake. Just because a hero has a core, it doesn't really have to be the strongest hero on the team. It's just like you have to have somebody with a core, and probably that hero should survive unless it is Sandiwara Eos. So it can be like, you can use, for example, if you have like a Star Alchemist Holmes, you can put him in the team and use him as support. You don't have to have him as a main owner or run like a Star Alchemist Holmes team. It's just a team centered around Star Alchemist Holmes. If you like the core and want the attack buff and the armor buff and the health regeneration and everything, you can do that. You can build a Panda team with the Star Alchemist Holmes core. It's definitely possible. Okay, that was Gore. Icarus, what do we have here? Nearly the same team here. But I think the main team is, once again, a Star Alchemist Holmes core team, like the ones we saw before. So it's like, it's 2 meta teams, I think. 2 meta teams and the crap I run that lost. That is kind of the case here. So let's see, Gore starting off. Basically slaughtering Icarus here with the Starwing Jara team. The Starwing Jara team is so strong. It's honestly so strong. Can of course fall prey to like Mockman. My Mockman could have... Imagine the fight that I had was like... if you got one more chase, the Starwing Jara would have been dead. So like carry hero's gone. That is something that you can do with the Mockman team. But if you just don't get the proper amount of luck that you need to get the chases like we had, then you lose. And you lose rightfully. Because it's always like a little bit trying to hit the jackpot with the chases on Mockman. So that's the main fight. We're going to watch that. So that is interesting. Yeah, Homeowner Rogan is a meta thingy. I don't like it. I don't like it. It feels wasted. I mean, like, you can use some homemats on there, obviously. But I see hardly any reason to. Mockman feels squishy. I think he's rolling out of meta, to be honest. For those CC teams, speed is everything, yeah. But it won't help you if you fight somebody like for example, if you fight somebody like Artorias and every hero he has is like 60 speed faster than your heroes. Then it won't help you at all to have those two rogues. And beyond that, we are now on turn 5 and you don't get a speed buff anymore. You get the speed buff at the beginning of the fight and after that you don't get it anymore. Yeah, the way this fight was basically won, and we can have a look at that for a second again. That is a little bit of a weakness of a Star Alchemist Holmes team. As soon as those carries are dead and as soon as the Ezreal in that team is dead, there aren't really too many heroes left that the CC from the Starving Jara core can hit. So let's look at that again. So most of the time, if you have 3 dead heroes, let's look at that. So here, you have like those 3. And as soon as those are dead, basically the only 3 heroes that the Starving Jara core can hit are either Mystic Fairy Freya, Bessa, or like the Holmes Young. And the Holmes Young got hit a lot. Like we have the first CC on here, and now this life is low. Getting a little bit lower here, we get the second CC on him, and we basically have an Aspen CC when we have 2 Starving Jar CC on him. And there's nothing he can do. He won't attack for the entire fight, and here at the end he just dies without ever doing anything. So that's like the problem, I think. That's like the main problem of that this team had against this Starving Jar team. If you can get some damage off, that is another thing, but like if you can't, you can end up in that situation that all your heroes get double or triple CC'd or something, and that's not great. That's not really great. Icarus had 2 meta teams. We can look at that again. You, Carl, if you want. Home on a Rogue is in a home that's all level 1 anyways. Yeah, well, then you don't need him in a home, I guess. Other than to look cool. I mean, it looks cool on that one. That's pretty nice. Icarus as the CC team here. That's basically a CC team, but with the with an SQH instead of an Aspen. I like the Aspen more. It's a good CC synergy if you run Aspen and Starving Jar together. Here's a interesting teams here. I mean, that's... Well, the Starving Jar doesn't really fit in here. How many Starving Jars does he have? Interesting. Well, enough for that fight. I have to see that now every time. That's interesting as well. Icarus versus Sharon. That is a cool fight. That is a cool fight. If there are, by the way, fights that you guys want to see, definitely write those in the chat and we can look at it, we can comment on that, and I think we can have a good time. Mysterious Gaming! Thanks for subscribing, my friend. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching the stream. Happy that you made it. Sharon, by the way, is like a huge whale. He's a huge whale. He's in the Global Guild and like the main guy of the Global Guild, you could say. I think you can say that without insulting anybody. It's a huge account. You have like A+ heroes on here. It's like 1, 2, 3. We have more A+ heroes. Only 3? 4, 6, 4. There's 5 in between. There's 5 in between. How did I beat Sharon in your opinion? Is Icarus your account, Saul? Icarus is your account? I didn't even know. I wasn't sure who Icarus really is, to be honest. He's my own guild. So, what do we have here? We have Starving Jar CC team. Yeah, I mean, like, it's... Sharon is running a Panda team. And the thing is, with Panda teams, they always tend to be a little bit weak against CC. And I guess that's basically what happened here, right? And then he had 2 heroes left. So, let's see. Let's watch that. Of course, it's the strongest Panda team you will ever find there. I think I had him as... Oh, it's Jove! Okay, it's Jove. I didn't know that. People and they're renaming. So confusing. It's basically, that's the strongest panda team out there. No questions asked. I thought that in Void Arc today. It's insane. That Vessar here that hits for a ton. It does so much damage. Really bonkers. Holy, that Starring Jara did a lot of damage. That Starring Jara did so much damage. That was insane. Like, damn. Did you guys see that? That was so much damage, taking out all the pandas. But of course, that super tanky Ferric Investor still alive. And yeah, wouldn't be too surprised to see. Yeah, I mean, we know that this fight was won by Sharon. So I guess Ferric Investor. And it was really more of the Sandivara Eos dot, wasn't it? That killed me. Not really the Ferric Investor. Yeah, Sandivara Eos definitely strong. And again, we have 2 A+ heroes here, an A Panda. You can roll like Divine Block on there and do some insane stuff. So that is definitely a pretty strong team. 10 million attack Jara with max sublimations. On the beat here. Insane, man. Insane. That's pretty great. Yeah, and then of course he does clean up with like an Holmes Star Alchemist Holmes team. And then beats the rest of it. Yeah, pretty good win. I like that fight. Definitely, no, not that fight. That was Sorbitol losing to God of Pain. And I actually thought the final would be Sorbitol against me. So God of Pain definitely a surprise winner, but a well-deserved one. Icarus versus Sharon, interesting fight as well. It's interesting to see how strong Starring Jara tends to be. Would you be happy or sad if there is an Ace Championship cross-server war, Android versus iOS? It would be interesting to see that. It would be interesting to see that. And I think like a lot of people in Omega Project and other top guilds have speculated where they might be if there ever was a fight between Android and iOS, or like one big Ace Championship. I mean, it wouldn't even be bad. Why not? Do it. They have the capabilities. I would make it like a special thing. We can have our own Ace Championship, but like taking the iOS people in there might make it a little bit more interesting, to be honest. Because there are certainly strong guilds on iOS, certainly strong guilds on Android. What I wouldn't want to see cross-platform guilds. That is something that I would not like. That wouldn't be that cool. Like cross-platform guilds and suddenly God's Domain starts poaching Omega Project people and Omega Project starts poaching there. But I don't like that. I don't like that. Let's make it Android people versus iOS people, no cross-platform guilds, and then we just fight and see who's better. And that's cool. That would be cool. Take the Amazon people in there as well. Let's do that. Let's do all platforms. I mean, why not? I can finally fight the chicken people on my main Android account. That will be fun. Just don't invite Amazon, I'm not ready to fight Omega. If we do cross-platform, we need the Amazon players as well, and the Huawei players and all the other people. Rio Vert, no. Yes. The chicken people. Chicken Co-op is the name. Okay, interesting. That is an interesting group. I didn't even see that. We have core people versus core people. A core final. That is... I mean, that's rather unlikely. Rare sight to see. I mean, you see an Omega Project final every single season, but like not a core final. Holy Homer versus Pussy Wagon. Hopefully I won't get banned from YouTube. We of course mean cats. Holy Homer, definitely a name I've heard before. Pretty big account. We see some B plus things here. B plus Panda as well. And again, we have a Starring Jara core team. Starring Jara core team. Again, dominating. Not too many teams to look at. Then Pussy Wagon. Also Starring Jara core team, with the slight difference that one of them uses Aspen, that is Pussy Wagon, and the other one uses Sandivara Eos. And we even have some stats here, some tree levels on this Rogan. Supposedly, I would guess to get some more stats on the Ferric Investor. By the way, slot 1 Ferric Investor does indeed have Rogan in there as tenant, but it's actually not the best tenant for that slot. Actually, base Vesa is the better tenant. So, maybe something to consider. Right now, let's watch that fight. Where is it? Main team fight. Did I just skip it? Here it is. Too many fights here. 10-2 it ended. Some pre-team fights. And then we can watch the main fight. Pretty clear win here. With the V3 Rogans even. Interesting. Pretty clear win by Holy Homer. Didn't lose a hero. So, this is a CC fight, I would imagine his Towering Jar is just faster. Yeah, does look like it. Usually, if we fight CC teams with... Oh, slower actually. Interesting. But Pussywagon lost the Rogan. So, that is definitely going to be a problem for him. And yeah, then now he lost his Towering Jar, which isn't that good of a thing to happen to Star Ranger core team. They tend to lose if they lose their Star Ranger core. And yeah, the EOS with the big damage here. I guess the Holy Homer team is just the better Star Ranger, is it? They are very similar. The extra damage from the EOS made the difference. Killed off these supports. Hit a big hole in that team. Those CC teams are rather squishy. And the only thing that makes them a little bit more tanky is really Mystic Fairy Freya. What can help a lot, by the way, if you run Mystic Fairy Freya in a game mode like this. First of all, though, congratulations to Holy Homer for winning their clan final here from the core guild. And getting the IDA champ. Were some good wins here. Oh, Mr. Get Money Myrick here in the corner. Didn't even see him. Get Money Myrick, another YouTuber, also made it to the top 8 fights, lost against Kawang? I have no idea how to pronounce that. Butchering another name. No 7 lost. Wow, Jara Stonks. Yeah, lost against the Jara team. No 7 here running a Panda team. Interesting. Panda team and also a Jara team. Hard to say on what he focused. With an SFX in here. We can look at that. Why not? I wonder if the Starring Jara or the other team is his main team. I would reckon it's the CC team. Let's watch this fight. No 7 is a pretty big whale as well. Pretty strong player. Starting off the enemy Starring Jara is faster, so that is already a problem. SFX not doing too much yet. Not doing anything, to be honest. Yeah, that wasn't really... that wasn't that nice. It was really not that good damage, to be honest. And yeah, I think the mistake here is... We just talked about it. You really want the Mystic Fairy Freya to make your CC team a bit more tanky, because even though the SFX can inflict a bit of damage here, that's not enough. That's not enough. And congratulations to Holy Homer for winning this. Let's take a slight turn and have a look at Mystic Fairy Freya. And one thing that I would recommend going for if you run Mystic Fairy Freya is indeed to get into her sublimations. And there is one sublimation, this one for her passive skill. When an ally releases basic attacks or active skills, increases their all damage reduction by 12% and attack by 12%. And getting this sublimation really helps you to get more tanky, because in the base version, if we take a look at the V3, where is it? Is it like this one? Yeah, it's 10%, so you get an extra 2%. 20% basically more tankiness for you. You can get precision buff as well, or even get a shield on them, which is also quite nice. Shields are a nice possibility for your team to actually get into some weird mechanics. So that is also a nice thing that you can do. Something stupid. No, I sadly did not win. You can on YouTube, by the way, you always have like an easy way to see what happened in the stream. You can indeed scroll back in the stream. It doesn't work on Twitch. On YouTube you can just scroll back a bit. And if you care for that, at the beginning of the stream you can see me end up rather devastated. You actually watched me lose live. And I guess losing an IDA final live on stream is a pretty is a pretty new thing and another level of devastation that we didn't have in the Idle Heroes content creator scene yet. How did I what win? I'm simply too good. We will see it. I will claim some bad things, some cheating, obviously, Mont, that you did. We will find out how Mont cheated his way to a win. That is something I care for. So Group 5 now. Yeah, okay, obvious win. Like, if it's day 1 and you see like the list, you can scroll down, and if you see like Artorias, then you know it's like maybe not the season where you get the final win. Did you see my fight against PM in Group 7? It was a crazy fight. No, but that's one I care for. That's one I care for. Mr. Big Knower, also known as Afflicted One on other channels, on Twitch and everywhere. Old guildmate of mine. Also pretty good lad. Versus P from Pillars. M. Also an old guild member of mine, by the way. From really old times in Chronicles. And those two guys fighting each other. Group 7, that is something we're going to look at. But for now, it's Artorias versus Failed. Poor Failed. Might have had a chance to actually secure a win. Or get an IDA champ with this group if it wasn't for Artorias. Sir Artorias, he is in chat. He is in chat as well. He told me he was waiting for that specific moment where I have a look at his team. So that is actually the real Mr. Artorias in chat here right now. So pretty nice. So let's have a look at this team. 911 million. I think Barry recently had a look at it. He can indeed go further beyond. He showed me a screenshot with like 1 billion, I think it's called. He achieved the next digit. It's really insane. It's really insane. And the most insane part of it, there is a rarity that is exclusive to Artorias. The SSS tier rarity. No other player in game currently has an SSS tier hero. Artorias has 3. 3 SS tier heroes, and we can SSS tier heroes. We can take a look at it. He bought a Pender, he bought Mockman, and he bought the SSS SQH. And I mean, like, even to see the symbol, you basically have to click on this account to see the symbol, unless you go to the auction house, of course. Arguably, that's the best hero in the game. This one right here is the best hero in the game. That's the best stats. It is a Mockman, which is like the strongest hero in the game, and basically just pure insanity that we can see here. And the thing is, this team, that is his main team, looks a lot different than all of the other stuff we have seen before, which instantly makes it interesting, obviously. But I fought this team, and the weird thing about it is, due to the fact that every hero in this team is like SS or SSS, they are all faster than you. They are just like all faster than you. It's insane. You think you forgot to put relics on your heroes or something, or forgot to put a speedstone on. No, they are just all faster than you. And that's just so unfair. And I love it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, and we see like second team vibes with 3 SS heroes, or the good old Tenant A plus SFX is just great. I mean, like A plus Rogan even. And this one, Arania A minus, that is the one I'm hyped for. This is the one I'm hyped for. Because we might actually do some collaborations with Artorias. I can say that much. We still have to plan it out, but there might be some collaborations with Artorias, and you might see some gameplay footage on this channel. So, if you were ever hyped for Idle Heroes content, I mean, if you remember the Hossi times, Hossi's nothing compared to this. If you look at Hossi now, that seems puny compared to Artorias. And seeing some gameplay of this is a rare sight on YouTube, a rare sight. So, let's see what Failed brought up to get slaughtered by Artorias. We have a Starving Jara CC team, and we have a Holmes-Young team. Pretty solid build, nothing to say about that. This is like the build that that we saw lose against Harbinger teams before. I wonder how it's going to do against Artorias teams. So, first team already losing the Ezreal to like a secondary team. That hurts. That really hurts. He lost his secondary team that has a homeowner into core to Artorias secondary team. We watched that fight. We watched that fight. Yeah, he already has an A- Aronia. It's insane. It's insane. It's just already pretty strong team. It's just already a really nice team. And it's not even, I think this team from Artorias is not really even one that has like these super strong heroes in there. We have to look at the end at the hero quality at the Awakening tiers, but I think that is just like the garbage team basically. And still, it's just super strong. It's just super strong. SFX dying there. Well, not entirely the garbage team, but like we have 2 A tiers in there, which is nothing for Artorias, which is nothing for him. So, still getting a win with that team, insane. And I mean the devastation from this team alone, getting rid of the Ezreal in his homes team. Insane. But we have seen this risk time and time before. We have seen this risk time and time again of losing those suicide heroes in earlier fights against weaker teams, which is one of the reasons currently why it is so nice to have SFX in like the first team, in like the second team, before your main team even enters the fight. It's a little bit of tankiness, some crowns in there to get rid of some of those suicide heroes and weaken those Star Alchemist Homes teams to an extent where they just can't compete against the main team anymore. And he lost the second 2 suicide heroes here against this team. So we basically have 3 heroes going in the main fight. The team was already crippled before it even reached Artorias' main team. Which is sad. I would have loved to see the fight actually happening between Artorias' main team and this core team. Sadly, not entirely going to happen. It's a well-equipped Panda team, really, with crowns and everything on there. We have the SSS Panda, which I think does have a flag equipped. It looks like it, because it doesn't have the crown symbol. Might just have a flag equipped, honestly. But it's insane. It's insane. Even the damage it does here to this team, you can't even really assess, because like you already got rid of all the suicide heroes with this fight. You already got rid of all the suicide heroes. And it might a little bit be a weakness of the setup of this team. Having the Star Alchemist Homes in the background not only makes him vulnerable to Aspen basics, but also, which is a rare encounter, the Panda, to say that, he doesn't get hit by pandas or by any other heroes that just attack slot 1. And you really want Star Alchemist Homes to get attacked. To activate core charges, to get armor, to get attack, to get all of this good stuff. And this just doesn't happen if he is in the back row. I don't like the back row positioning. This is not pretty cool. I would have not have recommended this. Yeah, he got some good actives off here and thereby killed the secondary team, but let's watch the main fight and it will be slaughtered. Biraya, not really late. We have watched a few groups already. We can watch that again. I mean, the heal is good. You can see the heal by the Mockman core, by the Star Alchemist Homes core. It is a really good heal. Can't really complain about that, but yeah. I mean, like, if you ever seen somebody losing, that's the fight. We can see the Holmes Young core doing stupid stuff again. I mean, like, those guys should not be alive anymore. Yeah, now it's ending. But like, look how tanky this core makes this Star Alchemist Holmes. Insane. How much did he heal? Look at those heals. Stupid core. Just a stupid core. But the team is insane. It's definitely insane. We watch the next fight as well. I know you guys want to see some content from Artorias, so let's go in there and see some stuff. Yeah, that's an SSS Mockman for you guys. Casually just sitting for a few million. By the way, Artorias, some info on that. He's actually on the fourth home right now. Fourth. I don't know, some of you guys are probably on your first home. Maybe not even finished, getting closer to finishing it. He's on the fourth. Not even I am on the fourth. He's on the fourth. It's insane. So, again, I would imagine Arto's going to steamroll over everybody in the game at the moment. There's just nobody, I think, that can beat him. Jesus might have a slight chance, but I don't see it. It's just so much strength combined. And going back to the suggestion of the ace between iOS and Android combined, the cross-platform ace, I think we could see Artorias slaughter some guilds there, some entire guilds. I wouldn't be surprised to. Second home, free to play. That's actually quite good. That's actually quite good. Means that you probably did good progress in the game, good PvE progress. I see a lot of people that struggle with that. Mainly, I think not even because of the CI materials, but because of the master toolboxes. That is something. So, again, congratulations, Artorias. I'm pretty sure if I do a video like this on the next IDA season, I will see you there again. So that is definitely something I would not be surprised to see. So let me take a sip of my coffee here. Level 40 to 50 on your homes. Oh, level 40 to 50 is pretty good. Artorias is beating all iOS guilds. Yeah, the problem is at one point you might start losing heroes. But if you can do all of this damage that Artorias can currently do before the enemy can even attack, I mean, who is going to defeat him? Some people with some A+ Aspens? Nah, just not going to happen. Just not going to happen. Take a look at this team and tell me who is going to defeat it. I'm not. I tried it. Honestly. I defeated it, I think, once. In 50 fights. And that was so much luck involved. There was so much luck involved with that. So. The A- carries. Insane. Group 6. Group 6, guys. Let's check it out. Mr. Daiko winning against Ragnarok. For the people, I think like 3 seasons ago, I lost the final fight to Ragnarok. I think it was Ragnarok, right? It was Ragnarok, I think. Or like 3 seasons or 4 seasons? Some time ago. It's a video on the channel, I think. That was the other final I was in. This one today and the other final, and I lost one to Ragnarok and now one to God of Pain. And both were pretty deserved victories. We analyzed the Ragnarok fight in depth, and it was a good fight. It was a good fight. None. Nice that you're here, mate. Happy to see you in chat. 7 as well, and Pepper. SSS everything max is Mogman or Aspen stronger? And that depends on the game mode. If you're talking like Star Expedition, it is Aspen. If you're talking like, I think, about everything else, it is Mogman. Some burst teams, like the one I've recently built with Broken Spaces, that is like something where you could use an Aspen. Wait until new power creep level 500 heroes. Yeah, if you guys haven't heard about that, there will be level 500 heroes apparently. The H hasn't really given us any info on that, but it seems like it. We got some screenshots. And yeah, they are just so quickly upgrading all of those heroes. It's really insane. Not really catching up to this. And there is Mont sending me some screenshot of his cheetah team. Allegedly defeating Artorias. We don't believe this guy. We don't believe this guy. I make the window over the chat. I don't want to see him. We don't want to see him. So, Daiko. I mean, look at that. That is so filthy. That is so filthy. There's such a confidence in this stupid core. That is such a confidence in this stupid core. He's, that must be said, he's running the stronger version of the team, I think. I think the 2 carry 1 Ezreal version is weaker than this one. And of course, it's a well-built team. We only saw weaker versions of such teams. This is really like a pinnacle strong version. Some people could build stronger, but this is like, I think, the strongest player with Star Alchemist Storms we currently have. But like, not even setting a secondary team. Not even setting the secondary team. Just be nice to the opponent. Set 2, 3, 5 secondary teams and let him get some wins. Or something like that. No, Daiko's like, I said one team. I said one team. I don't have time to set other teams. That is the way he does it. It's so filthy. It's so filthy. We have A- heroes here. He's using the Star Alchemist Home in slot 1. Just as I said before, I think that is really the better position for it. Back row having the Suicide Heroes there. He has Sundivora Eos here with the home. We don't know the homestead. So that is something. And yeah, Daiko doesn't really care. It is right. I mean, he's one of those guys. You see him win like every season. I can't really remember a season where he didn't win. We can look later, actually. But like, that is the thing. And poor Ragnarok has to fight against Daiko here. With Starwing Jara team with a Holmes Young. Interesting. Azrael in there as well. I mean, that is like another team. That is like a team we haven't seen yet. That is something different. I like it. Let's take a look at it. Let's analyze it a little bit. Yes, the Azrael for some damage. That's pretty big damage probably from the Azrael. Then again, he didn't focus on it too much. It's not T5. We have CC from the Starwing Jara. We have Holmes Young. I would reckon it's more of a support hero in that team, honestly. Maybe you main damage dealer. We have to take a look at the fight, honestly. Basically, it's standard Holmes Young team versus some I would say his own creation, I guess. But there's nothing bad to say about what Ragnarok did there. I think it is an interesting idea. It's not that straightforward, but it's like an interesting idea. I just noticed that you guys can see. That's better, right? I know. I forgot to hide the taskbar. That's stupid. That's stupid. I forgot to hide it. Now it's hidden. Now that confused me. We have to watch the fight again. Now I have to watch the Daiko fight again. Nobody wants to see it. Nah, I like Daiko. He's actually from the same area that I'm from, in Germany. It's quite interesting. I don't know him though. So let's watch it again. Until Daiko faces Arto in IDA. The thing is with those high-end Mockman teams, with those high-end Star Alchemist Storm teams, you never know what's going to happen. They do filthy things. Obviously, we have the silence on the Starwing Jara, making her unable to use her active for any CC, and she's dead. Yeah, that didn't do a whole lot. I mean, like, it's... The question is, would that have done anything if the Starwing Jara got an active off? I'm not quite sure about it. I'm not quite sure about it. I think, like... Of course, Daiko's team had a lot more power, but the main reason I see it win was more like... It is more straightforward. It is more focused on its purpose. He had a Starwing Jara that didn't do anything in his team. And then, okay, some speed, some extra speed from the Rogan, some crit with it that helped the Azrael, obviously. But it didn't look like Azrael was really the focus of this team. Azrael is just a very good hero, just doing a whole lot of damage, but Daiko's team was set up better. And with that, I can't deny it. It's a well-deserved win by Daiko. Even though that is some confidence here. That is definitely some confidence. So, well-deserved win by Daiko. Congratulations, my man. Happy that you can get another win. Not happy that you had to kill my good friend anymore for it. Good lad. Was also in Paragon. Like Woodworks. Also pretty good dude. Pretty good people in this group. Daiko is much faster even against the Rogue. I mean, like, he has the A- Holmes Young. And this A- Holmes Young, I think, has a 66, 63, something like that speed tier. I think it's A tier speed even. So no wonder he is fast with it. Group 7, some fights that we want to see in Group 7. I already talked about M versus Big Noah. That is a fight we do want to see. And we have to watch that, right? One cheating? We should just say that, right? That's cheating. Mont is one of those Star Alchemist Storm Scory. Oh. Bloody hell. Do I have to say something? It's so filthy. He doesn't cheat. Something stupid. That was just a joke. Don't really believe that. He's just using the Star Alchemist Home Scorer, and it's not really a joke. It's just like the Star Alchemist Home Scorer feels a little bit bugged. Some aspects of it. DH has decided that it is okay. So that is the thing that matters in a way. DH has decided that this score is okay. Doesn't mean that it's not bugged. Just means DH says the way it works is alright. So, nothing wrong in using it. I don't like it. I don't think it should exist in this game. It is arguably the strongest core in the game. And Mont is using it in a pretty proper manner. And has great success with it. I think it's his second IDA win. So, I mean, like, go ahead. It's alright. Not really a whole lot we can say. He doesn't have an A tier. He has a pretty decent Homesiang. He has Homesiang core. And the only interesting thing really about this team is he doesn't have an Astral in it. He uses 2 carries. This is weaker, I would say. Yeah. Basically, Astral has the same mechanics as carry inside his kit, and then just a little bit more. So I would say the team would be a bit stronger having an Astral, just even if it's just for the heal effect. Then again, well, I mean, you could argue that Astral doesn't drain energy. Well, thinking about it now, they are closer than I initially thought, I would say. They are a bit closer than I initially thought. I would prefer the Astral. I can see good reasons, though, to use the carry. Maybe we should say that. He uses SQH as well, which is a choice we didn't see too often. We either saw, like, Astral in her slot or, like, an EOS. You don't really need Homeowner stats on Hellora. Like, if you want to use her as support and maybe for the 20% extra damage, you don't really need Homeowner on her. So, that is, like, one thing. Then let's have a look here. That is basically the same Team Sorb Ren. We looked at it with like the SFX, and beyond that the pretty standard setup for Starwing Jara team. Interesting with the is it a Fox? It's the energy feed pad. Not really a huge fan of that one. I don't even know. Doesn't feel too good. Doesn't feel really worth it. Anti-heal on S is sub as well. Oh, that it is. I wasn't even sure. Let's take a look at that. Where he is. There he is. So the base version is like 7 whenever hero dies, equal to 8%. It's not. It uses effect of being healed by 30%. It's just in the base version. And if we take like the... Yes, you reduce the effect of being healed by 50% for 2 rounds. That's not a sublimation mod. That's just in the base kit. And what you can basically see if you see like the description of this skill is absolutely similar to that one of carry, so that's why it's used in the same role. He of course can do a whole lot more damage, and if you have like the if you have some homeowner stats left, have like another home, you can put this on him and he will do a whole lot of damage. And the funny thing is, if he slaughters himself, that also triggers the Mockman core, the Star Alchemist Storm score. No, it's really... I mean, that's the passive. What does he have here? HP attack. Reduces all damage dealt by the one enemy with the highest attack by 10%. That's nice as well. And you get energy restoration, 50 energy. I mean, isn't that rather cool? That should be rather cool for your team, right? If you have like 2 dead or 1 dead carry, maybe 1 other dead hero, you can feed energy to the Holmes Young or feed energy to carry. I mean, that should be nice. You should definitely look into that. Even though your team obviously did well. Okay, back to the drawing board. Let's see Mon's fight now. I think we are at the point where we should take a look at Mon's fight. It will not look too different to. Oh no, not that one. The healing reduce. There's actually the insane one. Is when he's dead. Oh, one that was a close one. That was a close one, my man. You would think that he could lose with that against something like this with like carry and stuff. He doesn't. Let's take a look. Burns me to the core. Was an unintended joke though. Of course we got some CC here. We got dead carries. I mean, it's bad for the team when the Freya gets CC'd, but not too devastating. Not too devastating at all. Can still win. SFX can, by the way, dodge the perceptual disorder. It's quite interesting. She can dodge the perceptual disorder because it's applied on hit, which is a little bit weird. 2 versus 6, yeah, 2 versus 6, but you have to think that the Mockman, the Star Alchemist Holmes core, refreshes its potions in every fight. So like you start with full potions and then you have 2 heroes and all the potions can go to these 2 heroes. So the core lasts for a pretty long time. And if you don't lock them down or something, you actually have some pretty decent chances to do some stuff. The thing that obviously happens here, and that is pretty mean, he now has the Ferrokin Vessel lockdown and he had the SFX lockdown with Perceptual Disorder, and both poison their allies. And if they are big and have huge attack, which of course they have, as Mockman always hits the 2 highest attack enemies, suddenly your 2 highest attack heroes, instead of attacking your enemies, start poisoning your team. And Mockman amplifies that core and then puts his own core on top of that, and then you see heroes dying at the beginning of each turn. Not even in the turn, really. It's like at the beginning of the turn, suddenly a hero vanishes. The core seems to be used up now. Of course, that doesn't hinder him from attacking here. Yeah. Did you see that there was like 4 billion dot? Insane! I wonder how much damage he actually dealt. And I wonder who that damage is allocated to. The poison damage. I saw a huge dot there. Where did that damage go? If you scroll back a little bit, it's like at the start of the 11th round, there was like a 4 billion damage dot. Insane. Okay, no idea. I think the game loses some damage there and doesn't show it for anybody. Because that was something I wondered. If like a Perceptual Disorder enemy applies a damage over time effect to your own team, who does the damage? They could allocate it to the hero on the own team, to the SFX that has the Perceptual Disorder, but like it's a little bit difficult, I would say. Well, anyway, I would say we congratulate Mont. Yet another nice win. Yet another time where the Star Alchemist home score was shown to us in a way barely any other player can do. Apart from Daiko, those two are both in OP and are talking about that bloody core all the time. But they did well. And now we are to the main fight of the group, basically. We're on our way to the main fight of the group now. Mr. M, P, M, and Big Noah. He was Mr. M before, was the name. So, let's take a look. PM. We see pretty standard Star Alchemist Homes team. By the way, my old Mockman. That was the Mockman I cleared most of campaign with, and Darkest L and other stuff. That's it. Pretty standard Mockman team we see. That guy is such a huge whale. Look at that. He has an A-S model. Those things are expensive. And even A-tier Vesser. That's pretty great. Mr. Big Noah, also with an A-tier Vesser. Well, somewhere they must have thrown those out like candy. Everybody has A-tier Vesser. I don't even have A-tier Vesser. I use B-tier Vesser. Puny B-tier Vesser. Okay, main team. Starwing Jara CC with an SQH. He has a home on our Aspen here. Interesting. Maybe switch those two. I mean, I like Aspen in a CC team. It kind of makes sense. The SQH mainly does only give damage to the team. Not sure if that's really what you're looking for. But let's see the fight. Let's see the fight. Obviously clear win. And that's a close fight. Look at that. That's interesting. Usually you see it the other way around. Like the support hero, the suicide heroes die. Like this Ezreal. And this carry. And then you have like the main heroes that stay alive. In that case, the suicide heroes live and the main heroes die. That's weird. I can't wait for you to see the Amazon fights, Wraec. We have to see if we do that in this stream. I might just make it an Amazon episode. Maybe we do that. Or what do you think? I will see at the end of it. If I do it now or not. Let's see that fight. That is certainly an interesting fight. I'm really eager to see how that happened. I can just imagine they revived at the end of the fight and he got killed by damage over time or something. Okay, starting off, we got a pretty good CC by the Starwing Jar. Let's watch that a little bit slower. Pretty good CC by the Starwing Jara on the Mystic Fairy Freya. It's of course always good if you can get a good CC with the Starwing Jara early on. Though I guess he would have preferred to lock down the Home Xiang. That would have been rather nice. The enemy Ezreal of course has some nice targets here in form of the Rogues that are rather weak. And if the Ezreal can get an active off, kill a Rogue, he will of course revive in the next round, which is pretty much a threat to the enemy. The Mystic Fairy Freya didn't free herself here. I would imagine she didn't run Control Purify. Didn't look like she ran Control Purify, which is a mistake in my opinion. You would want that. You have no other means of getting her free. Basically all the damage that was dealt here was dealt by these Sun Devourer Eos now. And now we only have... Look at that situation. I mean, how filthy is that? That's like the situation is, you have an Ezreal that is dead. You have a carry that is dead. And you have just one hero remaining on the board. Which is the Star Alchemist Holmes. And he still won that. I mean, you shouldn't win that. The Ezreal just died. And now we have one carry there. The dot from the Star Alchemist Holmes hits the back row. That's why the Rogue just died. Of course, the carries are rather strong against a CC team like this. That's just damage from the dead Ezreal and the dot. Oh, that's filthy. That's filthy. This Big Noah's team is just not able to get rid of the single Star Alchemist Holmes. I mean, it's of course, those CC teams struggle a little bit to deal damage after their initial hits, because the way Starwing Jara actually deals damage is for every single hero she CCs, she does damage. So if there are no heroes to CC or just one hero to CC, her damage is severely limited. And that is, of course, a problem for a team like this. He didn't really have other damage dealers. Like, we can look at the damage here. I mean, he has the A-Vesser. The A-Vesser could have dealt damage, obviously. That would have been an option. But the carry just drained him every single time, so she didn't really get an active off. I would have loved to see her get an active off. In my opinion, that win in this fight could have gone to Big Noah. And it was actually a bit more likely, I guess, to go to Big Noah. And the only thing that really saved it for M was that that the Vesser of Big Noah was drained all the time and didn't have energy. If she got energy at one point and did good active on his Star Alchemist Storms, I reckon Big Noah might have won that fight. We can't guarantee it. Of course, we just see the result, but I would have thought so. And then, of course, we see the main damage was dealt by a completely CC'd Star Alchemist Storms and a pretty much CC'd EOS, just with damage over time and another time damage over time. This damage over time from him lasts 6 rounds. 6 rounds. Yarrow, I wonder, as a free-to-play, would it be wise to awaken Home's young copies? Would it sell good? If you want to make money selling copies and you want to go for like that 80 hero, which I can't recommend, go for like a Mockman or a Vesa or an Aspen. Aspen and Vesa because they're used in Star Expedition and Wales want that, and Mockman because he's basically a main clear hero for every single PvE mode and therefore pretty expensive. So those are the 3 really expensive copies. Home's Young really isn't that expensive. The last high-end copy, an SS copy, sold for barely retiring value. I'm not even sure it was entirely retiring value. It was a little bit below, I think. So, not really what you're looking for. So, as I said, Aspen, Vesa, and Mockman are the ones you're looking for. Well, I guess the Home's Young core carried a lot here. Pretty unfortunate loss by Big Noah, but good win by M. It was a good well-built team. I couldn't say anything against the team, really. That was a super solid team, so yeah, I mean, that's just insane as well. Like, single hero versus this one. And it's not even like it's an SFX or something. It's just like Mockman. You would think anything would have killed him. Yeah, anything. There must surely be something that can kill this Mockman, right? Something must be there. Oh, if that Annabelle had energy. Imagine if that Annabelle had energy. If that Annabelle had energy, she would have put her skill effect on that Mockman, on that Star Alchemist Storms, and he couldn't even attack. That would have been insane. That would have been insane. That might actually have had a chance to win this. Now, obviously, we will never know. Now we get the perceptual disorder here. Doved by the Home's Young. We have 2 kinds of CC here. Even 3 kinds of CC. We have Petrify. Now he has a skill effect on him, but I guess next round we will see a few heroes die here. Just to the damage over time effect. Oh, we don't? I came back. The basic is enough to kill them. That's sad. But like, you don't really build your teams to kill a single hero, do you? It's not really something people would usually do. I mean, at one point he would be bound to defeat him. But yeah, that team is just too weak. That team can do nothing to defeat it. That's interesting. Yeah, if you summon something good, of course we are well set with the Vesa. Hey, Mr. Ice Wolf and Shaif, nice that you guys are here. Makes me happy to see you. That, on the other hand, doesn't make me happy to see me. It doesn't make me too happy. So, good win by M, good fight by Big Noah. We are happy for both, and hope to see both in the next IDA season as well. Always entertaining to fight you guys, or to see you guys fight. Group number 8. Kali! Kali actually got the win. Another lad from my guild. Pretty good guy. Talk to him. Is a nice guy. Won against Kenshin. Who else is in the group? We got Martin, got Ludus. Ludus from Utopia now. Also nice guy. Kenshin, sadly can't pronounce that. Dark Magic, Camelec, and Rolex, and Kali got the win here. What is Kali running? Oh, we got a filthy cruise. Alright, Big Noah, thanks for joining in. Happy that you were here. And hope you get something nice to eat. So, we got a cruise here. That's interesting. Kali going in with the cruise. That's the first cruise we see in the main team. Cruise struggles a little bit. Cruise has one problem, and the problem is if he's triggered and is below 50% of HP at the beginning of the fight, his stun won't trigger again. And at this point, he's basically useless. Doesn't really have the strongest ability besides his stun. He has a decent heal, but like you wouldn't put him in a team for that. So that is kind of the problem if you carry him over with an already triggered ability, and that is not that good in that case. But he put some teams before that, which is very smart. He has an SFX team before that, so the probability that this team will fight the enemy main team is decently high. And so he can gain the profit from just triggering the stun on all the enemies. There is another thing. Cruz recently got imprints. You can put Stellar on him, you can get him to V4. His stun got even stronger, his tankiness got stronger, so now he's pretty viable, honestly, as a PvP support. And I'm pretty surprised to not that we didn't see him more often, because he is pretty strong. He can be V4 now. The only thing is the problem I just described. If he's triggered and if he's below 50% life, he won't trigger again in that fight. So, pretty interesting though. CC team here, we got double CC plus the cruise, triple CC. What did Kenshin bring into the fight? Kenshin with a team we now know more than well. We have a Star Alchemist Stormscore team here, and we have a Starwinger core here, team here as well. I reckon the main team is the bottom one. We got more T upgrades here, 4 T5s and that. T5 Holmes Young here as well though, interesting. So will be a fun fight to see. I wonder if the cruise really did something. But I wouldn't be surprised to. He kept the cruise at V3. Interesting. But a secondary team actually fought his main team. So was a little bit risky. He had the SFX here. Let's see that fight. First, main team of Kenshin fighting against Kali. Cruz going in there with full life is already good. We already got a CC from the Aspen, pretty fast Aspen. And the first active from the Starving Jara is also already on the enemy. Pretty good CC there. And the enemy didn't yet trigger the cruise. Okay. Of course we get cruise mark now. Cruise mark is nice as well. Something usually don't consider when you put cruise in your team, but it's an extra 50% damage. So not bad at all. It is a mark. It can of course be purified, but nobody runs mark purify, so it's really not that much of a problem. Very nice. He got the extra damage from the Aspen kill there. That helped a lot. And it's just seeing that team down. That's good. We even got a dazzle on these Star Alchemist Homes. So double CC'd Star Alchemist Homes actually. And because of the dazzle he just hit the Sun Devourer Eos and nothing more. So yeah, he has the fight pretty well under control for now. Got a good heal there. And ending up with full life. Yeah, that was a very solid fight. Pretty lucky on Kali's side, but like, that was a very solid fight. Let's see the last one. And the cruise died here. So I wonder if we can get some cruise CC. Would sure hope so. Let's see. Starting off, this time we have 2 rogues in the enemy team. And the entire enemy team is stunned. So now Kali can of course act, and I wonder if he can make it worth it. Didn't get the best CC this time, but the Aspen put some stuff on the enemies. Oh! Yeah, that was unfortunate. Like the enemy Aspen directly in front of the cruise. Yeah, and of course the enemy Aspen triggered the bonus damage on his active now, and that inflicted a heavy hit on Kali. That inflicted a really heavy hit on Kali. But I feel like Kali's CC team is really doing what it's supposed to do, and that is keeping control of the enemy. And he's basically grabbing the control with the crews in that specific fight, and then putting other CC on the enemy, using even the Sun Devourer Eos Dazzle, using Aspen Horrify, using Starwing Jara Petrify and Freeze, to really make sure the enemy doesn't attack a lot. And it pays off. You can see it, full life bars here. Full life bars, super low damage from most of the enemies, apart from that Aspen, of course, that was unfortunately positioned in front of the crews. Super solid win. Super solid win by Kali. Nothing else I can say. And I love to see that we have some, I would say, off-meta team here. We see a Cruise, we see some CC, we don't see the standard stuff. We have a Starving Jara core, of course. It's one of the stronger cores. You can go into my core video and you see place 1 Star Alchemist Home score, place 2 is Starving Jara core, and I said place 3 is Aspen, and I stick to that despite Loli saying that Devil Armor doesn't work. I say I don't care. Stat buffs are nice. So, Danny, thanks for joining the stream. Claudio as well. Nice that you guys are here. How am I doing? I'm doing badly, of course, and we will see the reason once again in a second, because I get reminded every 5 minutes once I click end here on a fight and press that X button that I lost an IDA in the final. And it happens every 5 minutes in the stream. It's horrible. But that is not the reason we're doing this. We are here to congratulate Kali on this win, to celebrate the winners in IDA, because I think it's rarely done in the community. Top endgame PvP. I mean, it's like a sports game. We can watch top endgame PvP and it's interesting. And I comment on it, we show you some stuff. And next time I think we will make it an even bigger show and it will be even better. And maybe we will even look into the teams of some winners. We will see what we can do. We will see what we can do. Kali got a nice win here. Kenshin built some nice teams, but Kali's very interesting. Now, where is it? Cruise team won, and that's it. And that's cool. Overall for all, top 3 cores, PvP wise, overall for all content. Interesting enough, that's the same. That makes a difference on the weaker cores, but on the stronger cores, it's the same order. It's weirdly enough the same order. So you can use those top 3 cores and like go in PvP, go in PvE. It doesn't really matter. They are strong everywhere. Should I make an AMB for Ferroquin Vesa? It's a good artifact for Ferroquin Vesa. Keep in mind though, I would recommend you go into the Idle Heroes discussion Discord. Discord.gg/idleheroes. And there is a mid-game guide in there. You check that out, and if you check that out, you will find all the nice information, everything you need, and everything you should do. And there are people that think about the best possible route an entire day. I don't do that. Trust those guys. They think about it a lot. I think about endgame stuff. And you get some good guides there. I recommend that. So, Group 9. Franco car. Interesting. Norman in that one as well. Norman, by the way, killed Barry. Again, a lot of OP guys here. Eero as well. Franco car. And another IDA winner here, Onyx. Onyx, by the way, the developer of Panda Team back then. Not really meta anymore, but back then he was the guy you would ask if there was a matter with pandas. And I remember it exactly. There was like, he first used it in Trial of Champions. That was pretty cool. And he used it in Trial of Champions and people didn't know him. No idea who that guy was. And the whales didn't know him. And he was nowhere. And he was a pretty strong guy, Paragon 1 guy, so pretty good account. And he was basically in that battle and he was fighting Trial of Champions, and suddenly people noticed there is this one guy and he has that weird looking team with that panda that nobody played, and people lost to him. And they said like, okay, be very careful with that guy. He has like 10 million strength lower than all the whales, but you might lose to him. He's dangerous. And people wrote that. It was very funny. We laughed about it a lot. Yeah, that's Onyx for you guys. Panda Team developer. And in that month, he actually won IDA championship with his Panda Team. Medieval. I am... yeah, well, I have recovered from my loss in IDA. We can see it in Group 1 where I lost. So Don't want to talk about that again. Posera, nice that you are here, mate. Shout out to you, no one. You can have a shout out, of course, my man. Happy that you're here. Shout out to no one. That is, of course, always a nice thing. And shout out to Onyx for developing Panda Team and being a cool dude. Franco Car, what is he running? Oh, look at that. Off-meta team. Nice. We have a Ferukin Vesa core. It's the first time we see a Ferukin Vesa core. You see, like, it's not definitely needed that you use those specific cores that I talked about. You can use other cores, but it's just like those 3 cores I described. They are the strongest. They are the strongest. So if you don't get the power from them, you need the power somewhere else. And Mr. Artorias has a very nice SFX. Actually, the SFX was summoned by a guy called Veritas, and it's like the most beautiful SFX ever. It has like 8,000 attack, 8,000 over 80 speed, and 8,000 HP or something. And I didn't even know till Veritas showed that screenshot that A+ went over 8,000. I thought S tier was over 8,000. No, Veritas actually showed it to me, and it was over 8,000. So pretty cool actually. And he bought that SFX, and what Veritas did before he sold it was he basically wrote the God Roll on it. He wrote GK Defier Precision on it as bonus stats for the Awakening. So that's not only a super beautiful A+ SFX, that's also an SFX with like a super huge roll on it. And that is rare. If you try to get 3 specific stats on it, that's actually not that easy. So we can take a look at that. What does 2cbot say? Let's take a look what 2cbot says. 2cbot, by the way, on my server if you want to check it out. Pretty nice bot written by Aika. And if we go in there and type Soul Hammers and we go for A tier and then 3 specific stats, then it will give us the calculation. So to get 3 specific stat is 0.08% per Soul Hammer, or within 20 Soul Hammers, so all the Soul Hammers you get in 1 month is 1.5%, 1.493 to be precise. So actually super rare, and he got this crown jewel of an SFX here. The team itself, didn't talk about that too much, that looks like mine. That actually looks like my team. Like SFX, Aspen, Mockman, MFF, Ferukin Vesa and Rogan. Yep. Dude's running the same team that I run. So, you see, it can win. It can win. Maybe he found a better version of it. We don't know. So what do we have here? That's basically our Starwing Jara CC team with SFX. Basically similar team to what I've lost to. But maybe we can see a win from this team here. So let's take a look at that. Basically a similar team to what I've built. Is it really the same though? No, it is not. He's running Snowart, I believe it is, on the SFX I run AMB. And that is basically, look, have you seen that? That is the case when you get really good Mockman chases. Then you just slaughter 3 enemy heroes. And suddenly your enemy doesn't stand a chance against you. Because what's he going to do? Full life team, everybody attacked. Yeah, he can maybe kill the Rogan with the SFX, but yeah, like, does it matter? Does it really matter? It doesn't. And then the SFX just comes in and kills him. Yeah. That is the result. It's like, I mean, like, that's really what the Mockman in PvP can do. Or he does what my Mockman did and does barely anything. Can also be the case. Let's look at that again. It was a short fight. We will skip after the Mockman chases. I just care for how many chases he got. So, Mockman attacking first. We got the hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chases. Nice. Nice. It's like 5 chases is really great. So, then we get the kill with the SFX on the weakened Rogan. And, yeah, just finish it like that. That's really nice. That's really nice. Well-deserved win by Franco Car. Absolutely solid victory here. Nothing else that we can really say. Nothing else that we can really say. So, last group, Mr. Jesus is here. If you've missed it, he was actually in the stream some time ago. Was writing a little bit. Now we get to see one of the big fights that people were looking forward to. Thanks for joining in anyway. No one. Thanks for joining anyway, no one. That's funny. Happy that you were here, mate. If your internet is bad, I can definitely understand. Mine was bad in the recent days as well, so definitely have an understanding for that. Jesus is here versus Andy. Andy. Maybe not everybody knows him, but like, that dude is arguably pretty strong. He is. Look at that. That is a really nice account. Sunny Roar EOS, we have an A+ carry, we have like an A tier Starwing Jara, and we combine that all to the Starwing Jara team with Sunny Roar EOS that we have seen like 3 times, 4 times, 6 times already. A lot of people run this team, and it's a good team. It is a good team, and he's also doing the same stuff that I do. I like that. As like one Rogan with his skin and one without, but then again he has other Rogans without skin. Maybe it's not the same. I used to do that back then when I had 2 Rogans. I had one that had the skin active or the skin showing, and another one that didn't. And like the other, that was just to differentiate between those two, so I can see like that is the Rogan that has, by the way, the flag or the crown or something, and the other one that has some different equipment, and that was basically the way I looked at it. ASQH might have to do this, something similar. I have to upgrade on my SQH as well. And here we have like another Mockman, a Star Alchemist Holmes. I don't know why I say Mockman all the time. Star Alchemist Holmes with core, and here base Mockman with a - rating. Okay, interesting. Someone needed a Transcendence hero as a tenant. And then Mr. Jesus is here. Yeah. It's a little bit of the Artorias vibes. Just one step lower, I have to say. One step lower, because Artorias, of course, has all the SSS heroes. And as Artorias has every single SSS hero in the game, Jesus, of course, can't have any. And that's why he has SS heroes. And, I mean, like, the difference is marginal. He has insane heroes, he has SS Mockman, and that is for itself an insane hero. He has the SS Star Alchemist Holmes, which is insane, but I doubt we're going to see anything from those bottom teams. I think we will see those here. Jameis, nice that you're here, man. And Skylo, managed to catch the end. How are things? We are just looking at Group 10, so just finishing up on the IDA fights on Android. And well, then I have to see if we just take a small look at the Amazon people. But I think we won't do Amazon this time. I think Amazon is something we will do in a video. I think we do a video on Amazon, maybe tomorrow or something. Take a look at the fights, or I will record it later. We have been looking at those fights for an awful long amount of time now. Yeah, well, this first team, pretty strong as well. Interestingly enough, he's running Freya Core. No idea what's the story behind this. Freya Core speed buff and attack buff is an interesting core, mostly used in Star Expedition. So that is something that I usually don't see, or I would have imagined he's running a different core. But okay, I mean, like, the man knows what he's doing, so probably it's pretty good. Hello man, I really like your channel. Will we see daily or more frequent uploads? I mostly settled for doing it every second day. Sometimes we see more stuff. For example, this week is rather active. This is my second stream this week. I mean, like, that's a lot of content. But when there's a stream, there is no video. There's like the video of the stream, but no separate video, of course. And I don't do YouTube as a job, so it's just like some hobby between. I have to work all day and then I come home. And maybe you know how it is, you work the entire day and then you're like tired. And sometimes I'm motivated to do a video, but then if I break my head over what can I do and is there content or something, then I sometimes feel like just going to my couch and just chilling a little bit instead of doing a video. And I think every second day is what it will stay at. So let's watch the fights. I guess we watch the main fight, and that's all we need to see, basically. A beautiful SSS team fighting here, starting off with the SSSFX. That's so weird. That's so weird. The nice part is he basically has all his heroes attacking. That was what I was talking about before with Artorias' team as well. It just feels like your team is so super slow if you fight against full SS teams. It's just insane. You can have the strongest team, but already 4 of the heroes in Jesus' team attacked. There is barely anything left from the enemy. The Freya active is up. There is just so much stuff already active here that the enemy barely stands a chance at all. I'm not even sure Jesus would really need a whole lot of tech here. I think it would just be enough to put a few snow hearts on his team and just let them attack. I think that would really be enough. Any chance of getting chat overlay onto video? Yeah, I kind of have to look into that, Angry Toon. You are a bit right. I didn't stream that often, but I could make it a bit better, like getting chat overlay, getting stuff like this. Yeah, that would be something that we should do, right? Didn't really look into that too much, but maybe we will do that. I did stream a lot this week, so might spend some time looking into stuff. A bit off topic, Reg, I forgot to tell you, IHXC stream starts around 1 today in 3 hours 15 minutes. MK will stream on YouTube. Would love to see you there. I'm contesting for a second win. In 3 hours, I might be there. I will do my best. If not, I will definitely watch the recording. 3 hours 15 minutes is still a time where I will be awake. I might be at another place though. So we'll have to see. I would like to see Lodar on SE with his core. Things we'll never see. You have to think about that. The core of the hero of the LFA doesn't trigger in SE. Because it only triggers if you CC an enemy, so it doesn't really work a lot. Then again, you have the Devil Armor, but Devil Armor, according to Lowly, is bugged at the moment, so that would not be worth it as well. So I don't think it would be that spectacular, to be honest. So probably not worth it. Skylo Bonchest came in, want to place a bet on what I got. What did you get? Candy cane? No, you didn't got candy cane. You got torch. Torch. Probably something really horrible like a torch. Thanks. Tough on mobile without the overlay. I mean, you can show the chat on the right side, right? Still possible. I watch on mobile too a lot. But yeah, we can look into that, definitely. Either way, thanks for thinking about it. No, I want to see it actually, so I'm really hyped. You put so much effort into that. Oh no, I didn't watch it. I want to see the damage stats. You put so much effort into that account, I really want to see the fight. So, IHXC, if you don't know, is basically MK's tournament, and they fighting each other with 10-star heroes. And the interesting thing about that is they are basically going back to a time where star spawns weren't a thing, where 3 levels weren't a thing, where sublimations weren't a thing. And they're looking at those new heroes and basically pulling them back in time into the old 10-star meta, and we'll see how they perform there, and they build really interesting teams, and it's kind of like as if they never released E5, and that's cool. That's really, really cool. I really love that. It's a really cool format by MK, and of course needed a few people that put real effort into getting an account that obeys those rules, and Soul arguably built one of the coolest and best accounts for this tournament, and you will see it live, as so said, in like 3 hours on YouTube. Since when does MK stream on YouTube? It was like a Twitch streamer. But okay, I mean, like, it will be very successful if he streams on YouTube. Just not sure if you're going to make a lot of money. Streaming on YouTube doesn't really earn you a lot of money, I feel like. It's not the best thing. Like, I skipped it again, right? We didn't look at the damage stats again. MSS from Bonquest. MSS is a pretty versatile artifact. Every hero can basically use it. Yeah, it's a slaughterhouse here. The big heroes from Andy survived, but like, Jesus, made quick work of the rest of the team. I mean, Andy is a really strong guy. That's like an insane player. That's like top 0.01% player, Andy. And he was looking like a noob compared to Jesus. It's insane. Good fight by Andy, slaughtered the other players he fought. I looked at those fights before, and just unlucky that Jesus was in his group. I mean, I think he could beat like the 3 other guys here. No questions asked. It's like insane, and could have gotten IDA champ, but he got Jesus, so yeah, tough luck on that. Anyway, congratulations to all the winners of IDA for this season. We will do similar stuff next time. I will talk to Jesus. I said it before, we might do that as a collab next time, and then we will have Jesus and me commenting on all the fights. We will discuss them, and we will do some nice stuff. Is of course something that is not fixed yet. We didn't plan it yet, and he has, of course, still has to agree to it. He just said maybe. Maybe. We don't know. But it would be cool. It would be cool. Maybe we will do that. I went with my finalized team of Holmes, Young, Saja, Unimax, Sherlock, Fiona, and Rogan. That's a cool team. That's a cool team. Nice that Saja made it in there. It's really still of one of the heroes I like the most. Yeah, Twitch stream and edited version on YouTube in a couple days. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely cool. It's definitely cool, Soul. Will you make an account review for me if I support your channel? Like, what do you mean account by account review if I show your account on stream? Usually not. Usually not. I'm pretty restricted with which accounts I really show on stream and which I don't. I rarely do that. If you want me to like take a look at your account and maybe give you some advice or something, if it doesn't take long, you can show put some screenshots in the PvE chat in my Discord, and then we will take a look at it. And if you are a channel member, channel members of course have access to the Express Help channel on my Discord, and then you always get anything you want anyway. So that's another story. But like you can't go in here and pay money to be shown on stream. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. I don't do that. I don't like the idea of that, of doing it that way. But I thank you for considering to support my channel. That's very nice. Yo, do you think you can beat Villius? No idea who that is, Scalo. Villius? Doesn't tell me anything, the name. I don't know if I missed anybody, but like, no. Let's look at the Hall of Glory though for a second. Wasn't quite sure. Champions in last season, Andy, Ragnarok, and Daddy. I told you, Daddy won last time. And Daiko, of course. S434. Daiko always in there. Artorias. It's like the same people every time. Jessica. Daiko, of course Daiko again. Mont. Luck, Jeff, that's nice. Luck is just like a little bit late. Probably with your luck I would have won. Sadly I lost already, so yeah. Not on stream, I just want to get some feedback. As I said, you can post some screenshots in the Discord. That is of course an option. For channel members we have a special channel for that, so there you can get some more in-depth help, but I can give you for pointers. That's never a problem. That's never a problem. I do that for everybody, no matter if they are members or if they don't. It's just that members have special channels on my Discord if they need help with anything. And obviously for members, I take a little bit more time and we take a look at it. We plan stuff out. And if there's really something I can help with, like we can do Void Vortex and stuff even for members. That's no problem. The Amazon fight was me against Willis. Oh, it's an Amazon player. It's an Amazon player. I can log into Amazon. That is possible. We can take a look at that. Well, let's take a short look at the Amazon fights. I want to show it in the video more, but oh, you need an invite to join the Discord. Okay, that's something we can do. Good. Then your screen will get dark for a second and I will log into Amazon. And we will take a look at the Amazon IDA. Where I lost, by the way. Early on. Definitely early on. And I have to make an Amazon video, not today, but we will do an Amazon. It's not valid. It should be valid. I mean, it's a fresh one. Give me a second. Never, no limit, new link, copy. Try this one. That's a permanent one. I've used that one quite often. Okay. Now you can see again. Back to the Amazon servers. I haven't played today. We have to do Idolmaster for a second. Level 119, getting closer to 130 actually. Let's check out the vendors. Oh, we don't really have any gems. The account is kind of a bit in shambles, I have to say. It's a bit like the aftermath of the summoning event, because we did summoning event on Amazon, as you can see. A+ core. We got A+ core on Amazon. So another A+ core. And on the 23rd, which is tomorrow, we will actually go ahead and summon an A+ hero. And there will be another video on that. And that's the hero, I can tell you that right now. The hero we are going to do that on will be Mockman. So we are going to summon an A+ Mockman for this account. Which should be huge. And the slight problem with all of that is the account is very devastated. So like our chests are, yeah, they are gone. We don't really have anything left. It was an all-out war towards the end. This was an all-out war, and was a war between me and Ikeaya. And he thought he has to fight me. The problem with it was he thought I didn't have any copies. Because, well, he's looking at the Amazon series and he knew, like, I don't have that many copies. He underestimated, though, that we have options to get copies. So I actually used our chests, I used some resummoning stuff, retired some things, used some of the contract story for cores and got some copies to that. And in the end, we pushed further than him. He wanted to get the place 6 and sadly only managed to achieve that. We both had to pay a bunch of money to get to place 6 and to keep place 6 and 184 summons. We did get some good stuff. We can look at that for a second. The first thing we got was basically this Aspen. Pretty nice Aspen. Full B+ with control immunity offset. Really nice thing. Skylo, as a member, I'm vetoing the Mockman and demand it gets used on bait. I heard that before. Aika said that, I think, that we should use it on bait. And we won't do that with an A+ core. But we will do that in the future with an A- core. I promise that. We do that. We do bait A-. Will happen in the future. Just not now. Will take a little bit of time. I think, or maybe 1 or 2 summoning galas from now, we will do an A- bait. Just for the memes. And we will retire it for contract story. So that will be cool. But for now, that's not going to happen. Tournament schedule. Was I group 5? No, I was dead. Winner here, Darius Moonbow. We know Darius. Darius is pretty legit account actually. A- Vesa is one of the only really summoned A heroes on Amazon. The A tier Mockman that he has there is from a core. And the team, Full Transcendence team, that's pretty common on Amazon too. We are not going to watch too many fights. I mainly care about Sniper Masters fights in Group 6, and we're just going to go for through the groups. Look if you can see something funny, something like this, for example. That's enough to get top 8 on Amazon sometimes. It's funny. 1 Exceltrax lost. Interesting. Well, I'm not going to talk about him. Would be too funny. Chicken Co-op 1-1. Nice win by 1. Sealand with bait. He won't do anything, mate. He won't do anything. Let's be real. Then we got... I mean, it's a proper CC team. It's alright. Just going to click through the groups. We are looking at the winner team and see if something interesting is there. Oh, I'm in your guild, my son. I'm from the Philippines. Aber ich arbeite jetzt in Deutschland. Oh, nice. That's actually pretty cool. Because we have a lot of people from the Philippines that are actually playing Idle Heroes and play the game. But nice, in Germany, it was pretty lit that you are in Germany, mate. That's quite cool. If he has GK, he might. Nah, he doesn't have stats, mate. He doesn't have stats. So that's really the problem. You can't get stats on him. How would you do it? You can't put him in a home or something. We can do some SL. Obviously, he will do SL6, SL7. That's no problem, no question asked. But like, he does that mainly because he has star spawn stats. So yeah, that's like the point. That's like the point of it. So got some B- copies. You will look at some of those fights in depth if we do like an episode on Amazon. Pretty solid win in Rasa Ghul with the CC team. And now we have the fight that we really care for. FMK, what JDFHGHJD. And my man, he won. He won. IDA champ, he did what I can't do. He won IDA champ. We have a CC burst team. It's like a CC team with an Aspen, right? Pretty fast Aspen. And won against Mr. Villiers. I had to look for the main team. He's running some pretty similar team actually. Quite interesting. Bangladesh. Of course. Of course I know it, my man. Of course I know it. Of course I know Bangladesh. So, round 2, second fight. Of course, Mahmoud, you're very welcome here. Let's see from our chat member, Sniper Master, good guy. Let's see his winning fight. His winning fight in IDA. The Aspen hitting like a truck. Even though it is indeed a little unlucky positioning for him here. Considering, big hit from the SFX here and the Aspen cleaning up. It was a little bit unlucky positioning actually by FMK, because he was positioned directly opposing the Ferric Investor. And he can't obviously crit the Ferric Investor, so getting the kill here was much harder than, for example, if there was the Rogan in this position. But he was just much stronger. Much stronger. You could see that in the fight, just much stronger. And yeah, well-deserved 10-0 win, I would say. Finally getting you the champion frame, right? Or did you have it before, Sniper Master? Did you have it before or was it new? Move here. I never get why the guy doesn't push. He pushes so high up at the end and then never pushes for like place 6. He's always like place 9, 10. Then again, this time it was quite alright. It was quite alright. But I'm always afraid he might click on that button and push up. Congratulations, move. Did Artorias ever fight Jesus? Well, in the guild they do. In the guild they do. maybe I can get them to fight and maybe show the video. Maybe that would be possible. That would be quite cool. We will do some stuff with Artorias. This is my guildmate, so we can do some stuff there and maybe show some videos. And if you guys, we will ask in the Discord. We will ask in Discord what you guys want to see. And if there are some cool ideas, we will look at if we can do that stuff. Guy Fleekman, strong team, strong SFX with B+. Good rating. Versus Specky here, who just has an... I mean, like, it's... can Studity win? Came from here. That was his first opponent. Chicken co-op, guys. Well, that's a good win here. The guy doesn't like ratings. Okay. And there we have the main team. Well, it's not the main team. Is that the main team? He has a Valkyrie in there. Why is there a Valkyrie in there? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. We don't talk about that. Myth McKay, 184 million guy. Pretty solid CC team with like 3 Rogans. He got a little bit of SFX synergy with the Drake here. That's nice. You can do that. And Rion, nearly level 400 guy. Interesting that this actually exists on Amazon. A nearly level 400 guy. He's playing like forever. He must play like the beginning on the Amazon servers. Probably like one of the highest level actually exists here. Insane. Insane. Proper win. I just want to say one thing. Okay. Has a Ferric Investor. That's good. So, I would say we looked at it long enough. Enough for Interdimensional today. It's all for the fun. Wraec, he built the Valkos, it's his favorite hero, he survives him. And he can now put imprints on it. And maybe he can do some stuff with Valk, but I'm not sure. Our meta is a little bit over, but why not? She is actually one of the best tenants, by the way, if you want high HP. It's actually because of this skin that has double HP. It's quite interesting. Anyway, guys, I think we end the stream here. I wish you guys a great week. I want to congratulate all the IDA winners. Is it on Amazon or on Android? Both did a very well job. I'm happy for all of them. Maybe one day I will get IDHM too. That day is not today. But I thank all of you guys for sticking around. And we will see us in the next one.